before dinosaurs walked the earth, before giant sharks ruled the oceans, the sea belonged to something else, a creature with no rival, no predator, no mercy. It didn't hunt to feed, it hunted to dominate. Clad in bone armor as thick as steel, and jaws that could crush skulls with terrifying precision, it was pure, brutal power, evolution's perfect weapon. A nightmare from the deep that reigned before time remembered. Its name was Dunkleosteus. And this is the legend of the king who ruled the ancient ocean until the tides turned against him. 360 million years ago, when the oceans were still chaos and life was just beginning to form, a monstrous creature rose from the depths. It wasn't just a fish. It was evolution's perfect killing machine. Dunkleosteus, the undisputed ruler of the Devonian seas. Nearly 10 meters long and weighing over 4 tons, its head and neck were shielded in armor-like bone plates. No teeth, only 2 sharpened bone blades, self-honing with every bite. One strike, and a skull could be split clean in half. Its bite force reached up to 5,000 newtons, powerful enough to crush metal beneath the waves. And when it attacked, its prey didn't even realize death was coming. It didn't hunt out of hunger. It hunted by instinct. And in a world with no rules, it was the first true nightmare of the prehistoric deep. The Devonian period, an ancient and chaotic time where the ocean had no laws and survival was nature's cruel experiment. It was the age of some of the strangest creatures Earth has ever known. Titanicus, massive yet slow, almost defenseless in the face of true predators. Stethecanthus, a small shark with a bizarre brush-shaped dorsal fin no one fully understands. And Gorgonychthys, a twisted relative of Dunkleosteus with a grotesque body and a mouth that looked like it came from a nightmare. But among all these strange and terrifying creatures, only one name made the ocean fall silent when it arrived: Dunkleosteus. It didn't stalk, it didn't wait. When it attacked, it charged like a living block of iron, crushing everything in its path. One fossil of a Titanicus was found with its skull completely shattered. Paleontologists believe it wasn't an accident, but the result of a sudden, brutal, and perfectly aimed strike from Dunkleosteus. It didn't kill out of hunger. It killed to dominate. And in that ancient sea, where justice didn't exist, only the stronger, the faster, the more ruthless had the right to survive. But like all empires, the reign of Dunkleosteus eventually ended. Not because it grew weaker, not because of a fatal mistake, but because the world began to evolve. In the darkest, deepest waters, a new predator emerged, a creature forged by time and pressure, Colossal prime, a mutant descendant of an ancient shark species once thought harmless. Colossal prime was different. It measured nearly 6 meters long, with a snake-like body that moved like silk, twin rows of razor-sharp teeth, and electrosensory abilities that let it detect the faintest movement. And most importantly, it never hunted alone. These creatures attacked in packs, silent, coordinated, deadly. One bite, then another, and another. Alone Dunkleosteus, old and dominant, wandered into unfamiliar territory. The waters were still, too still. Suddenly, pain, a slash to the neck plates, then a strike from below. Blood drifted into the water.
It turned, no enemies in sight, just silence and bubbles. And then they came. Dozens of Cladocellae prime swarmed in unison. For the first time in millions of years, the king was dethroned. Not by a single powerful rival, but by an entire generation of evolved killers.
After the mass extinction at the end of the Devonian period, when global ecosystems collapsed and over 70% of marine life vanished, Dunkleosteus disappeared without a trace. No new fossils, no bones, no clear explanation. But deep within ancient sediment, paleontologists uncovered something strange. Bite marks carved into the skulls of prehistoric sea creatures, sharp, precise, coming from multiple directions at once. These were not the bites of any known armored fish. One theory began to emerge, that it was Cladocellae prime, or perhaps an early ancestor of the modern shark that hunted Dunkleosteus to extinction. Not because they were stronger, but because they were faster, smarter, and most importantly, they didn't hunt alone. They coordinated, surrounded, attacked in formation, and strike by strike, pack by pack, they brought down a creature once thought to be invincible. Dunkleosteus, born to dominate alone, a throneless king of the ancient seas, couldn't survive in a world that had changed without him, a world where the weak had learned to unite and take down the strong. He didn't die from hunger. He didn't die from disease. He was defeated by the one force he never saw coming: the evolution of strategy. To this day, humanity has explored less than 5% of the ocean. That means over 95% of Earth's underwater world remains completely unknown. A cold, lightless void where time itself seems frozen, and evolution may have taken a different, hidden path. So the question is, what's still lurking in that unexplored darkness? And what if that's exactly where Dunkleosteus has been hiding? This armored fish is believed to have gone extinct over 360 million years ago, and yet not a single complete skeleton has ever been found. Only fragments, scattered, incomplete, as if something was deliberately erased from the fossil record. Some sailors and deep-sea divers have reported sightings of a massive armored creature moving silently near the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth. These claims are often accompanied by strange sonar disruptions and, in rare cases, audio recordings of something that sounds like metal being crushed by teeth, followed by sudden, eerie silence. In 1997, a sound known as the bloop was captured in the South Pacific, so loud it was detected by underwater microphones thousands of kilometers apart. While some scientists attribute it to shifting ice, others suggest it could have come from a creature larger than anything we know. We call Dunkleosteus a fossil, a petrified memory of a long-dead world. But what if that fossil was just one left behind? What if the species survived, hidden far below where light dies and pressure crushes all? What if Dunkleosteus, the throneless king of a forgotten sea, is still down there, waiting beneath the waves for his time to rise again? Dunkleosteus is extinct, but what it represented still echoes today: absolute power, savage evolution, and the brutal truth of nature. But remember this: In a world that's always changing, the strongest creature isn't the one that dominates, it's the one that adapts. If you're fascinated by ancient beasts, forgotten legends, and the terrifying truths buried beneath the waves, subscribe to the channel. We've only just begun to uncover the monsters that time tried to erase.